hasta luego, adios. Manager slacking, so I gotta move. But I work hella harder, write a blog about it. Can't knock the hustle. Leave a 5-star review and I'll leave you one too. Can't knock the hustle. Leave a 5-star review and I'll leave you one too. Can't knock the hustle. Don't step to me, don't step to me, bitch. I ain't like them other boys. I think I'm going parasailing, letting go of all the trouble anytime soon. I'm high as a kite, they know what I'm worth. Why I gotta come down to earth? Why I gotta come when I'm high? Living up the nightmare chase. What I do is blow my mind. I can fly up to the stratosphere. That song is so beautiful. Shame the album isn't that great. Hasta luego, adios. Hello everyone, welcome back to Weezer Wednesday, where I look at a Weezer album on a Wednesday. Last week we looked at the Black Album, and it was kind of wasted potential. It felt like they were kind of running dry in the aftermath of the White Album, that era, like Everything Will Be Alright and the White Album. A lot of songs seemed to be left over from there, so they kind of just tried to turn it into newer albums, but something must have been lost in transition, because, I don't know, they did not turn out better than Everything Will Be Alright in the end, or the White Album. So yeah, that's unfortunate. But now we are looking at, what is it? We are now looking at Okhuman. I've been hearing nothing but great things about this album. You guys said that this album is great. I've heard that this is like really good. This is a pretty sick cover though. Whoever drew this needs a good crisp high five. So yeah, I'm liking the album cover. I don't know what he means by Okhuman. You know, sounds like the, you know. Anyway, fuck Radiohead. We're here for Weezer. Shout out to Radiohead though. I'm kind of excited. Hopefully you're excited. Maybe we can get excited together and listen to a potentially good Weezer album. Liking it. Liking it. Speaking of which, we have now... Oh shit, I didn't even show you. Weezer ladder is still the same. I still need to clean that up. But yeah, we are officially done with 2010's Weezer, which is, you know, was a pretty strong year, even though the ending was kind of flat. But overall, it was a pretty strong year. Hurley, all the way to the Black Album. Overall, it was a strong set of albums. So now we are officially in 2020's Weezer. Let's see how they start off the decade. Let's see what Genius has to say before we can get into it. Okhuman is an album by American rock band Weezer. Its name is possibly a reference to Radiohead's OK Computer album. Who would have guessed? Especially so considering the machinery in the album art. The album was announced in January of 2019 when riverscuomo confirmed the existence of a new album, produced by Jake Sinclair, who also produced Weezer's 2016 The White Album. Nice. In an interview with Los Angeles Times, Rivers described the album as a piano-based project with strings recorded at Abbey Road Studios. I'll take that for now. This should be interesting then. Hopefully it isn't pop. Or, well, pop isn't bad, just when it's so cliche, you know. Hopefully it isn't that kind of pop. And I'm giving up the nightmare chase. Oh, whoa, whoa. Do is blow my mind. Okhuman, Weezer, January 29th, 2021. 12 songs, only half an hour. Track number 1, all my favorite songs. Okay. This feels very old school.
All my favorite songs.
Nice.
People make me mad.
Not so nice.
Good is bad, bad, bad. All my favorite songs. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Okay. Wait.
Parties, but I don't have when I stay home. Listen when somebody talks.
Kinda true.
Be rich,
True.
but I'm guilty. I follow who hates me. All my favorite mad, so mad.
Why is there a random parentheses there?
All my favorite song with me.
Sounded like was it Bittersweet Symphony? Is that the song? True. I understood that. Sounds like LA. The trumpet? Scream it! Scream it! I don't know what's wrong with me. Ooh, ooh. Oh? Okay. What an opener. It's not your usual rocking tune that Weezer started off with, but man, that was so good. That was so good. Very cynical kind of song. He's a very sad boy right now. He doesn't like songs that are fast paced and heavy. He likes them slow, sad, depressive. That's kind of sad. No shit. Anyway, the first single off Weezer's 2021 album Okhuman, released January 21st. The song shares the speaker's conflicts in life. His wills are contradicting and he expresses his confusion and lost sense of direction. Obvious reference to Radiohead's landmark album OK Computer, which seemed to predict these thoughts of computers taking over and controlling us. Yep. We weren't worrying about commercial potential, which gave me the opportunity to just sing about whatever I was feeling in the moment and exploit my anxieties. Our fans don't seem to age out. We must be doing something right. As if to underline how dramatically the past year has upended the world, even riverscuomo doesn't look like himself anymore. The Weezer's frontman's aesthetic was always one of the most recognizable things about the band. Cropped black hair, thick-framed geek chic specs, and a boyish face that betrays little... Because look, if we look at his face, man, he looks so different. Look at him, dude. He looks so different in here. He's got his red mustache again. He's got the long hair. Dude, that's kind of crazy. I will say, 2021, my music taste was like very thin still. I mean, it still is kind of thin today, but not as thin as it was back then. But yeah, I think during the pandemic, I was into more like anime more than like gaming or music. But man, I remember either you went bald or you grew it out. Oh man, the pandemic, it's crazy how we're almost like 3 years away from that already. Time moves by. The lyrics call back to a pair of songs by legendary folk rockers Simon and Garfunkel. Their song I Am a Rock pairs a line about a unfeeling rock with the line I am an island. The singer seemingly identifying with the lonely, isolated nature of islands. Rivers has reference to islands in several previous songs, including Island in the Sun and Happy Hour. While Simon and Garfunkel's island seems to be a place of sad loneliness, Rivers' island seems to be places of happy solitude. When Rivers sings about the sound of sirens, it's an admission that even on his happy island paradise, he'd eventually come to miss the sounds of the city, including the signs of emergency vehicles. This also seems to be a play on words that alludes to Simon and Garfunkel's song The Sound of Silence, an ode to the challenges of communicating emotionally. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I'm sure a lot of people would love to live away in like complete happiness for the rest of our lives, but that's not what makes us human. As much as we hate to experience it, we do experience extreme lows. You know, it would be nice to just be happy all the time, but that's just not how we work. That's just not how we're computed. Shut up. Alright, we are bound to experience sad times, and we are bound to experience sadness. I don't want to say romanticize it, but just try to be prepared for it. So I've mentioned this before already, maybe in the Vince Staples album. We all get some dark times, man. And I'm giving up the nightmare chase. Whoa, whoa. Alright, next song. Aloo Gobi? Aloo Gobi.
What's French noir flick? I'm agoraphobic.
Agoraphobic?
My butt will bruise.
Not his butt, man.
Oh my god, what's happening in my new gobi?
Aloo Gobi. Shout out to Montana. No, is it a cello?
Instead, I simply stared at years go by.
That's what I've heard.
Like this child.
Banger. Oh, piano solo. Ooh, I am liking the orchestration here. Hold up, have they done this before? The Red Album? Man, I don't even. Say it louder for the people in the back. Say my little gobi. Okay, another good song. When he says, "Oh my god, what's happening to me?" I thought it sounds like he's turning into whatever the hell's on the album cover, the like alien thing. I thought that was like the side of that. It also can sound like he's kind of becoming self-aware of doing the same stuff over and over again. Because like, I don't know how much this is in reference to the pandemic or how much of this story plot was conceived pre-pandemic, but man, during lockdowns and stuff, you pretty much did the same stuff. You woke up, did something in your room, and you stayed there for the entire day. Maybe you go out, take a walk your dog. It got a little tiresome. That's why in like 2021, dude, when everyone came back out, dude, it's kind of wild. What does aloo gobi mean? Was written in 2017. Well then, I guess anything I said about the pandemic is out the window. But it still can apply if you've been living like the same routine day in, day out for a long time. It gets tiresome still. Describes a typical date for Cuomo and his wife Kyoko, which would always involve ordering the titular cauliflower dish and checking out whatever movie was showing at their local area theater. The track was included in the album as an ironic take on what Cuomo at the time saw as a boring, dull routine, but now misses and learned to appreciate what he had with the new normal of the COVID-19 pandemic. Well, there you go. Booyah! You know, it's funny too, because like, when the pandemic started, I was like, okay, cool. We got more spring, right? We got more weeks of spring break. And now it's 2024. A few more weeks of spring break, then we'll go back, you know, everything will be okay. Then it didn't. Then we practically lost the rest of the year. I lost my graduation. I lost my prom. I lost my last band concert. So did my friends that was supposed to graduate with me. So it's like, damn. I mean, I've already graduated college, so it's not a big problem that I missed it on like those important high school events because I'm practically an adult now. But man, it's kind of crazy. You're an outlier and a bookmark in history. Do I miss high school? A little bit. Oh well. Oh, it's a vegetarian dish from the Indian subcontinent made with potatoes, cauliflower, and Indian spices. Popular in Indian and Pakistani cuisines. I see. Montana Avenue. Well, at least Rivers is back in the public now. Everyone is, since the pandemic's hopefully stays over. Alright, track number 3. Grapes of Wrath. Dude, is this mostly just gonna be strings? I'm kinda liking it so far. Shout out Moby Dick. He doesn't care, man. I don't care. Literally 1984. Man, you are getting hints of Beatles in this. Even if I know that they recorded this in Abbey Road Studios. I'ma do the things that I wanna do. That's the best way. Oh man, dude. You know, this is a good sign where I'm liking a Weezer album that doesn't include heavy guitars. But you know it's a good sign where I'm liking the album so far and I haven't heard like a crazy guitar riff so far. Of course, we're only 3 songs in, you know, there's a lot of songs left, but I'm liking the usage of strings here. It's not like something new, but it's addicting and it sounds nice. In this song, Rivers sings about the joys of escapism that comes with reading a good book. However, rather than consuming the book in the more traditional medium, i.e. reading it with his eyes, he's using Audible, a modern streaming audiobook service from Amazon. There are many references to books in the song, with the title referring to The Grapes of Wrath, a 1939 American novel by John Steinbeck. Man, I really gotta start reading more, huh? One night a few years ago, I woke up in the middle of the night and I couldn't get back to sleep, so I decided to listen to an audiobook on Audible. I stayed up for a couple hours, just listening and listening to The Grapes of Wrath. I did not get good sleep, but it was a pretty magical experience. There's something about that state of the brain. That time of night, I'm able to drift into this more imaginative state and really enter the world of writer's imagination. Next day, I woke up and it was time to go to write songs, cause that's what I do. And I was pretty sleepy and just feeling like, not ambitious, and what's the point? But then I found myself in that same half-asleep brain state, and it was kind of pleasant. I remember reading an interview with the producer Quincy Jones, and he said the whole time he was producing Michael Jackson's Thriller, he was half asleep behind the mixing board. He mentioned something about beta waves, like when your brain is producing those beta waves, it's a better state for creativity and imagination than when you're fully awake and more conscious about what you're doing. I think I also heard that Thomas Edison, the great inventor, was constantly dozing off as he was coming up with all these amazing inventions. So I took that opportunity of being in that beta wave state and wrote a song about my experience listening to the Grapes of Wrath for a long time in the middle of the night. Woo! Wow. A lot. Yeah, so I kind of get what he's saying here. Because I remember back in high school, I used to write like these little songs with my friend. One time, I suggested to her that we should write it sometime late at night to see what the hell we could cook up while we were in this like tired state. Because I'm not gonna lie, I do kind of relate to what he's saying. Because like you think of some wacky stuff when you're in that state, you can really let your brain let loose in that state. Is it ideal for songwriting? Probably not. I'd say it's a good exercise to do from time to time. Because who knows what your brain can think of in that state. And you know, Michael Jackson's Thriller, pretty good. That's a pretty good case. Look, I don't know how true this claim is or how accurate it is, backed by science. But from personal experience, I can say that I think Rivers is cooking here. Please tell me. Please tell. Oh, hey, Denzel Curry. Please tell me this is a Red Album annotation. Ah, damn it. Oh, wait. Damn. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. To prove to you. The next track is Numbers. Track number 4. Oh, but these transitions too, man. Come on.
You feel bad about yourself.
20.
Else.
Oh no. I mean, he's kind of.
Numbers are out to get you. Short to join the team.
Oh man, this is okay. We're getting relatable here. Oh, we're getting relatable here. Oh man.
They'll kill you if they get me and tell me what's really matter. All that we needs a hammer, but the
True. Oh? What does that mean?
I hear the sound.
Man. Yeah, I get this. I get this a lot. It's so easy to compare yourself to others when that's like the golden rule of like trying to become your own kind of person. Because like people are so unique to themselves, it's so hard to compare to each other. I mean, of course, there's like 7 billion people. There's gonna be someone that's kind of just like you, but like still, you're so unique in your own right and whatnot. And like, there's always a number that'll make you feel bad about yourself. It's like, when you're a YouTuber, I think numbers is like one of the worst things to be looking at. Especially if you're like a starting out YouTuber like me. It's like, it's nice to see the number go up, but what happens when it starts plateauing? What happens when it even starts dipping? That's when it like kind of gets to you if you're trying to do this somewhat seriously. At the end of the day, either you might be doing something wrong, or it really shouldn't affect you at the end of the day. Because if you keep pushing, you'll eventually get that growth back. I'm assuming. You kind of just have to persevere. Obviously, I wish I had enough subscribers to get like a golden plaque or a diamond plaque, but I'm nowhere near that right now. I'm at fucking 400 subs, and I'm grateful for every sub. Yeah, I'm grateful for every sub. Because like, I remember last year I had like less than 100 or so. Yeah, like less than 100. It's kind of crazy. Don't be comparing yourself too crazy to like the biggest people, because like what am I trying to say? It's like you could probably be as successful as them too. I don't know how to sound. I don't know what to say besides sounding too preachy. But it's like you don't have to compare yourself to the biggest. You can try to become the biggest, but if you keep comparing yourself to them every single day, it's like that is like a super steep uphill battle. That's practically like 90 degrees uphill. For your own sanity, don't do that. But you know, as an accountant, you kind of like looking at numbers. But to this extent, yeah, it's unhealthy. 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. Are these prime numbers? No, they're not. Referencing the Fibonacci sequence. In mathematics, the Fibonacci... How do you say his name?
Fibonacci.
The Fibonacci numbers form a sequence, called the Fibonacci sequence. Duh. Each number is the sum of the two preceding ones, starting from 0 and 1. Math. math. That's kind of crazy. In binary, 10 is equal to the number 2 in base 10, but when the 1 and 0 are added, they become 1. Oh god. Oh god. Numbers is a song about every person's discontent with their inadequacies and flaws, and how none of those things really matter as much as they'd like to think. Exactly! Exactly! They can overlook and overcome those personal flaws through connecting with each other to cover them, or at least rely on other people who are flawed in their own way to accept them for who they are. Exactly. Exactly. Good song. Good message. Oh man, the strings on this album are so beautiful, man. Alright, track number 5. Playing my piano. And I'm giving up the nightmare chase. God.
My kids are upstairs.
I'm also upstairs.
3 weeks.
That's kind of gross, man. Yep. Sounds very pandemic-like. Let him cook. Oh. Okay, man. Okay, man. Music theory mentioned. That's so crazy, man. Hey man, I miss my Zoom meetings too when in college, man, so I can agree to this. Alright, track 6, Mirror Image.
Heaven turns his back on this man, or on this man.
Man, what a nice interlude song. Shout out to Kyoko, man. Screens, track 7. Man, don't we all just love a loving partner? Thought he said fat. Jeez. That's not who I think he's talking about. It's definitely who he's talking about, huh? Blackpink, a South Korean K-pop girl group with a large online following, mostly young girls. Wow. I never would have expected these two to cross paths. But here we are. You know, the 2020s are a crazy time, man. That sounds like a reference. I'll be old as fuck by then. Solitaire, man. You talking like iCloud? like a storage unit? True. Yes, I mean shit. I'm staring at multiple screens right now. It's very unhealthy. It's very unhealthy to be on this all day. Hey man, when you're doing this as like a nice little hobby, you know, shit. Well, I try to mitigate, but man, I am on my phone a lot. Everyone stares at the screen. The older generation got hooked on simplistic applications of the new technology. The solitaire game included with Windows since the 90s. But now they're addicted and they can't stop. She is online searching for her kids instead of actually seeing them. Oh, crazy. There's a lot of technology-centric shit happening back then. I mean, still now. I mean, been progressing in that technology phase. For better, for worse. But yeah, man. Something about being there in person. It's a pretty fun experience. Yep, the cloud refers to software and services that run on the internet instead of locally on your computer. Most cloud services can be accessed through a web browser like Firefox or Google Chrome, and some companies offer dedicated mobile apps. Rivers is implying that this movement to internet storage will further prevent human interaction. Dumbass red coats dying. Track 8, Bird with a Broken Wing. God damn it, someone help that bird!
Flying in the empty grill, it was such a thrill. We were killers. Bird with a broken wing, we were standing night to day. This beautiful song to sing. I'm right where I wanna be. Stupid cat.
Hey, come on, chill on the cat.
I would be his meal till I saw I felt so free. Broken wing, voice in the world. Believe in me, beautiful song to sing.
Man, dude. In an interview with Apple Music's Zane Lowe, Riverscuomo states that he wrote Bird with a Broken Wing because he was feeling irrelevant and past his prime. He was feeling very sorry for himself. That's kind of sad. He seems to be content with it. He seems to have accepted it with like, don't feel sad for me, I'm right where I want to be. No matter how he's feeling, he still feels free. Like we said, Bird is probably the most freeing animal in the world. So even though the song sounds pretty like, woe is me kind of thing, obviously Rivers is like, I'll be fine. No matter how bad it gets, I'll be fine. Which is a very strong statement for him. Which is funny too, because like every now and then you'll get like a peak Weezer album. So like being past your prime, it's kind of funny to say that. Weezer's whole discography can be like up and down. So I mean, the fact that you've had, I'll save it for later. All right, next track, Dead Roses. Oh.
To the blackness, imagine your smile. The last of my steps is dead roses. Reach until you beg to live. Now I'm crying over dead roses. On his cranium and locks of hair as I hiss my final prayer.
He says this is kind of in a gothic style. It's like, yeah, this sounds like a pretty typical classic poem. Beautiful acoustic ballad. Everything happens for a reason. I like the vintage feeling within these instrumentals though. Like this just sounds like an old recording you'd hear. Makes me feel at home for some reason. Here Comes the Rain. And also these transitions, dude.
Cascading from the sky. Oh, the thunder roll. Splish, splish, splash.
W lyrics.
Walking down the road. Here comes the rain. Oh, I got dirty. Bit the dust in the lines myself.
Yeah, because you have long hair and a mustache, brother.
Comes the rain. Oh, it's gonna wash all my trouble away to paradise.
Hell yeah. No. The rain. Wow, a very uplifting track considering how dreadful this album has been. Not in a bad way, by the way, like in the sense of the content. The 11th track on Okhuman, Here Comes the Rain. The title is a nod to the Beatles' Here Comes the Sun, off of the Abbey Road record. A seeming account of self-encouragement that Cuomo wrote for his friend Sam Harris, the button-pushing author and podcast host, as Harris was getting beaten up online for some outrageous statement or another. Cuomo also said, I wanted to explain to Sam how to not get sucked into it. The song's original chorus, he claims, don't go on Reddit. God, that would have been insane to hear on this album. What did he say? What did Sam Harris say? Of course, it's possible to disagree with Sam on either of these two topics while thinking that he is a racist. However, I would be very surprised if Sam Harris actually turned out to be racist, or that his takes on the above topics are in any way motivated by racist beliefs. Okay, this is a can of worms that I am not willing to open at the time. Yeah, those are some very interesting takes from Sam, but I don't know if I'm missing any context here or nuance, so don't have a strong opinion on what Sam Harris has said, other than, I don't know about that. I don't know about that second point. And plus, I'm not super religious to begin with, so I can't comment on Islam that much. But yeah, surely people have had very cordial conversations regarding that. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to collaborate with people you don't agree with, or people who are unfortunately bad people, especially in places like the music industry or business-wise. You are bound to encounter bad people, whether they're truly bad or not. Who knows? But yeah, it's just life. You're gonna have to collaborate with people you don't like. They've told you this in school too, man. So yeah, it's a very, very interesting conundrum here. But I don't know the full context. I don't know who Sam Harris is, to be honest. I only know Weezer, and I only know music. Slightly music. But yeah, Sam Harris, context aside, a very uplifting track, and I do agree, you can't let this internet shit take over too badly. Because like, if you get sucked in too much, it'll just keep digging you a bigger and bigger hole. That's why I need to stop getting on Twitter, man. That shit pisses me off too much. Anyway, last track, La Brea, Tar Pits.
There was nothing to find so that I could be. I had it on hope on a bone. Hey, hey. Hey, let it go. Hey, your topics. Still so much to get.
Drew! Take my hand, Rivers. I'll save you. Ah, damn it. Uh-oh. Wow. Wow. That was okay That was okay human. Okay, human. Let's talk about La Brea Dark Pits real quick. It's named after the Los Angeles historical landmark of the same name. Natural asphalt, tar, or brea in Spanish, has seeped up from the ground in that area for tens of thousands of years. Over many centuries, the tar preserved the bones of trapped animals. Cuomo uses the tar pits as a way to remark on morality and what we might still have left to offer in life. So a very uplifting track to end this off. The last two tracks are very uplifting. Not everyone knows what the La Brea Tar Pits are. Okay, yeah, I mean, they're quite well known here in LA, but I guess it makes sense that they wouldn't be elsewhere. True. And all kinds of animals got trapped in the tar and starved to death. Jesus Christ. A woolly mammoth would get stuck there, and the saber-tooth would come along and say, "Oh great, I'm gonna go eat this guy," and he wades in, and then he gets stuck. And then they both died together, jeez. All those animals ended up extinct, so I think it was a metaphor for me feeling like the world has evolved beyond me and I'm going extinct. And no matter what I try to do, I'm just stuck here in this tar. Damn. Damn. Well, obviously we know that Weezer is not extinct. He's still going strong. Weezer's still going strong. They released an album like 2 years ago. So yeah, I mean, in the context of knowing that this was during the pandemic, a lot of people had that fear what's gonna happen or uncertainty. Of course, we know now that everything is somewhat back to normal. Of course, it's never gonna be back to what happened beforehand, but at least we're trying our best to adapt to post-pandemic life and hopefully see better days. Hopefully, things don't get worse, but I am no prophet. I'm no prophet. I just cursed my sports teams, okay? But that was OK Computer, and man, this was a great Weezer album, and there was barely any guitars present, which is kind of crazy when you think of Weezer. Well, what I think of Weezer in the best sense is like simple but great guitar riffs, heavy guitar riffs, but there was none of that here, which is a testament to what Weezer can do when they start experimenting or taking different routes within their music. Who would have guessed that an orchestrated piano album from Weezer would be probably one of their best albums? And it's like, wow, there's just like so much you could talk about here too. It's like Rivers' sense of dread, confusion, lostness, loneliness, the world ending. Cause like, even though it was like a few years ago, but man, it was a very impactful time during the pandemic. God, it's been a while since Rivers has talked about like being, or well, this is the first time I've really thought about him being aware about being past his prime. Cause like usually a lot of times it's Rivers talking about like love and like, I mean, of course, there's topics about love here a lot. Usually when it comes to like his relevancy in music, it's like him just saying that he's gonna do what he wants to do, which he does still do here. But like when it comes to like Bird with a Broken Wing, he's like saying, he's like, man, I could be past my prime. I feel like, do we even need Weezer anymore? It's like, but he seems to be in some sort of acceptance stage, because like no matter how bad or how better it gets, I'll be fine. Because I mean, shoot, how many albums have they made at this point? How many of them successful? How many of them good? He's had a successful career at this point. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's just doing it just to do it for the love of the game. But yeah, the idea of like losing your humanity, of what it may be, staying inside, being computerized, being sucked into the internet, your screen, it's a very steep slope that you should try to avoid. Content creators, they are a different type of person. You probably heard of countless examples of content creators like being sucked into this and like going off the deep end, and either like they go too deep or they just straight up quit. I know I've been grinding at this thing, but like, man, sometimes you gotta like just take a break. Sometimes you just gotta stop, or else you'll burn out. Burnout is pretty easy to achieve, but man, God knows what happens if I did this in a pandemic. Maybe I would have been bigger by now. Maybe I would have quit by now. Who knows? But like, I know I wanted to start it like during the pandemic, because what else was there to do? But like, I didn't have the means to. What was this, like January 2021? I didn't even have this computer set up at the time. So like, makes you think about what would have happened if I started in a pandemic, because that's when everyone started to like blow up a bit. But now since we're here in 2024, who knows what's gonna happen? Who knows what takes off, what doesn't take off? And yeah, there's just so much packed into this, and it's only half an hour, which is kind of crazy. And there's more songs than the typical. Okay, well, there's like 2 interludes, so it's technically still the 10-song format. But it's kind of crazy. They fit so much into such a short amount of time, which is a very good format for albums. Doesn't overstay its welcome, and it's not too short where it's like almost blink and you miss it. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. I like a Weezer album that barely included rock riffs. See, that's how you know Weezer can experiment and it can pay off well. How many times have Weezer gone the pop route, but they haven't exploited so well to the point where it kind of just sounds like average pop music. There's some good songs here and there, but like overall, it's like it doesn't hit as much. This hits a lot, especially with the orchestration. I've mentioned it throughout the video, but like the orchestration within this is beautiful. If you're not gonna have like the fun guitar riffs, at least have like interesting string accompaniments, string sections, you know, some wind sections. It feels like a callback to like the Sgt. Pepper's. That's the image I get whenever I hear those like string sections, the orchestration, which is funny too, because like it's in Abbey Road Studios. Yeah, man, there's just so much to talk about. So much like self-deprecation, of course, reflection, but there's also some uplifting stuff near the end that makes you like, hopefully gives you some sort of hope in continuing whatever it is in your life. Shout out to Rivers, man. The band was locked in this album, man. Of course, the guitar was pretty absent, but hey, it's something very different from the Weezer format. With that being said, let's finally go to our Weezer ladder and see where it lines up. Here it is. Here is Okhuman, and let's see. Man, I think it's just so out of the norm for what a Weezer album usually is. Even though they've had like a countless pop records. Yeah, this is not like a pop record. It's like an orchestration piano record. This is something so beautiful about it. It's kind of crazy. It's like its own little outlier in a good way. This is a great album. You know what? I can't believe I'm gonna do this. But I'm putting it above Maladroit. It's peak Weezer, which is funny because this is like almost off-brand for what Weezer usually is, but it's done so well to the point where it's like, man, it's crazy to think that this is a Weezer album. Production-wise, lyrically-wise, you can definitely tell this is a Weezer album. But man, production-wise, man, it's pretty weird to hear this on a Weezer album, and I like it. I like it a lot. So, we have reached peak Weezer once again, baby. Let's go. It's so funny because like when the Buddy Holly memes were popping off, it's like, man, people are saying Weezer is shit, but like, man, there's a lot of enjoyment you can get out of these albums, which is kind of crazy. I know I'm kind of reflecting on the discography as a whole right now, but man, this is such a good peak. It's like, of course there's dog shit albums here and there, but overall there's some good stuff in here. Man, Weezer, why are you so inconsistent, man? But yeah, Weezer peak once again. I can't believe Maladroit has been dethroned. But yeah, I like how Pinkerton just keeps going lower and lower. I know a lot of people do not like that. But hey, what can you do about it? It's not like Pinkerton's a bad album anyways. I like Pinkerton. Just not as much as these guys. Sorry. But yeah, damn. Do I even continue Weezer wins? Nah, just kidding. I will. Because what's next on the list? Van Weezer. I'm assuming this is where they go into the rock section of their discography. Because why else would you name it Van Weezer and not have it be a rock album? Unless you're going to do a black album troll where you say, welcome to the dark side, and it's anything but. But okay then. Gee, I wonder what this album is referencing. Gee, I wonder what this title is referencing. Yeah, I'm assuming to get pretty heavy on this album. Which, you know, I don't mind a little bit of heaviness. I don't mind the guitars. Hopefully it's done well. But we shall see. With that being said, thank you for watching another Weezer Wednesday in the books. You know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe. Watch my other Weezer videos if you want to. Watch my non-Weezer related videos if you want to. I appreciate all your support. Give it up for Okhuman, man. We got another good album in the books. It's weird. It's like, if you want to get into Weezer, do you recommend this? Because like, it's so out of the norm for what a Weezer album would be. And they've changed their sound a lot, so yeah, I'd recommend it. Obviously, yeah, I'd recommend it. I just recommend this album in general. It's a pretty good album. Shout out to Radiohead. I'm high as a kite.